UK government to block Scottish gender bill.
Here's a summary of the article.
The UK government has decided to block a controversial Scottish bill designed to make it easier for people to change their legally recognised gender. He added, "If the Scottish government chooses to bring an amended bill back for reconsideration in the Scottish Parliament, I hope we can work together to find a constructive way forward that both respects devolution and the operation of UK Parliament legislation." MSPs voted to pass the Gender Recognition Bill by 86 votes to 39 in December. The aim of the bill is to simplify and speed up the existing process by which people can obtain a gender recognition certificate to change their legally recognised gender. Ministers can stop a bill becoming law by using Section 35 of the Scotland Act, the legislation which created a Scottish Parliament with powers to make laws on a range of issues. If ministers think a Holyrood bill would modify laws reserved to Westminster and have an adverse effect on how those laws apply, they can block it. Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has argued there are no grounds for the UK government to challenge the legislation as it falls within the powers of the Scottish Parliament.
This post received a score of 7,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Putting aside the contents of the bill, for the UK government to challenge the devolved Scottish Parliament is a very bold move given the current political climate in Scotland.
Some would suspect that Sturgeon knew this would happen, giving more weight to independence calls. I don't think that is the case, Emo.
I don't think she wanted it to happen, but she also knew that it could benefit the independence movement. If Westminster tried to block the bill, it would potentially help both the independence movement and trans people in Scotland, while if Westminster let the bill pass, it would benefit trans people in Scotland. Either way, it's a benefit from Sturgeon's position. It was the right move both morally and politically.
A classic Xanatos gambit.
To this day, I still don't understand what he wanted with the gargoyles. He brought them back just to take down that airship. He just wanted to ball out with a castle on his tower, and didn't realize he was dealing with squatters.
Well, it was either that or cruise around in a spaceship and give HR nightmares.
What's your gender? Scottish. Denied. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I don't know that.
How do you know so much about swallows?
You have to know these things when you're a king, you know.
Thank God that in the midst of worldwide economic and political crisis the Tories are dealing with the real problem, Scottish trans teenagers.
They're going after Scottish trans teenagers and adults who want easier, cheaper access to a certificate that exists, which means they can get a pension, get married, and be buried as their gender and name after 6 years of consultation over the law. That's what the whole row has been over, what gender people will be buried under and if this paperwork needs doctor's nod even when transition hasn't happened. It should be noted this does not impact Equality Act or single-sex spaces protection in the UK. It just changes some paperwork for GRA. Trans people can and have been using single-sex spaces like bathrooms for many years.
Moreover, a certificate that several other countries grant that the UK already accepts.
Critics of the plans are worried that allowing anyone to self-identify as a woman could impact on women's rights and access to single-sex spaces like refuges and changing rooms.
Greater than the Equality Act 2010, and not the GRA, set out the legal arrangements for how single-sex spaces and services operate, and changes to the GRA will not affect these. The Equality Act 2010 starts from the position that trans people, with or without gender recognition certificates, can access services and spaces which align with their gender. Trans women can use female-only spaces and services, and trans men can use male-only spaces and services. There are exceptions which allow single-sex services to treat trans people less favorably than other people if their particular circumstances mean that's necessary and proportionate.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.